Hello Internet, welcome back to Jackpot Garage. Here we review bikes, we buy bikes, we sell bikes, we rent bikes, and also fix them. And we mod them, we wrap them, we wash them, and we ride them. It's pretty insane, and we love what we do here at the garage. Today we're taking a wild ride up Brokeback Mountain and down the WCA to talk about this thing known as the Iron Butt Challenge. Stick around and you'll hear about how you too can pull it off in Malaysia, how Jackpot Garage can support you and help get your backside certified. Question number one, away from the heat but still on the hot seat, what the spark plug is the Iron Butt Challenge? Well, like McD, WWE, Harley-Davidson, and Casey Stoner, the Iron Butt is an American product. They make you ride 1,000 miles, or in Malaysia, 1,600 kilometers within 24 hours. It's not a race, it's about endurance. It's about endurance riding. Fuel receipts, odometer photos, GPS logs. You need a good bike, some cans of coffee, and energy drinks. Basically, you ride, you document, and if you're still alive at the end of it, then we can say, okay guys, aku dah buat Iron Butt Challenge. Sudahkah anda? Question number two, is it doable in Malaysia? Oh yes, Malaysian highways are the perfect roads tailor-made for challenges such as this one. Most of the time, our roads are smooth, open, dotted with 24-hour R&Rs for your caffeine hits, your toilet breaks, and also for refueling. The weather in this country is forgiving most of the time. Well, that's discounting if you're in the East Coast around monsoon, which is quite about now. Just try to steer clear of those areas, unless you want to fight strong winds, heavy rains, and floods. Alright. Question number three, how do you start the Iron Butt Challenge? Well, whether you're a traveler who's just touched down in KLIA, someone residing in Kuala Lumpur, for the sake of simplicity, let's just assume we all start our journey here in KL. There are three ways Jackpot Garage recommends you do this trip. Number one, you could take the West Coast. Where it is KL to Bukit Kayu Hitam. And from there, down to Johor and back to KL. The whole trip is about 1,600 and maybe 10 kilometers. You get smooth roads, you get lights along the road, but some stretches of it. No tigers and no goats. Maybe. Option number two, you can take the East Coast. It is KL to Kota Baru in Kelantan, down to Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan, and then back to KL. Around 1,006 or so, you get beautiful views, you get nicer air, but if it's at night, pretty pitched up. You'll find the occasional wandering harimau kumbang looking for cows to eat. So travelers, make sure you have some fog lamps on your bike and some really strong horns. Last but not least, you could also do this. You could go from KL to Penang, then take the East-West Highway, come down through Terengganu, and then back to KL. This is also 1,006, but slightly more than the other two. This is kind of like a full tour of Malaysia. Stunning, but it's also quite punishing, just like the Iron Butt Challenge should be. If not, why is it called a challenge? Question number four, what is your strategy? What is your average speed perhaps? Let's go from there. If you did the math, the 1,600 kilometers Sandal Challenge requires you to do an average speed of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour for 24 hours. And that is including stops for coffee, for fuel, and for shishi. That means you should be cruising between 100 to 120. Within legal limit. You should fill up ideally around every 300 kilometers, just enough to stretch and maybe drink some teh tarik. You ideally should be stopping for no more than 5 or 6 times for fuel, and that takes it to around 20 to 22 hours total. In case you get tired, you also have the extra budget for some shut-eye. Question number 5. How much petrol with subsidy is maybe around 250, at most 300 if your bike is very thirsty. Tolls, well, there are no tolls. You save on tolls, fortunately. IBA certification, the Iron Butt Association certification. Expect a couple of hundred ringgit there. Snacks and coffee, maybe you give yourself 50 to 150 ringgit if you want to enjoy. That takes the total to about 600-700, and most 800 or 900. Kind of like the cost of going to one track day. With a different impact, of course. Track days are very common, but it's not every day you want to say, oh, let's do a round trip around Malaysia. Let's ride 1,600 kilometers just for the problem. Which leads us to question number 6. Will riding around in Malaysia attempting to chase 1,600 kilometers within 24 hours kill you? Yes, for 3 reasons. It's either you're too tired, too thirsty, or when you're riding too cocky. The worst hours to be doing this challenge are between 2 to 5 a.m. It's really dark and your body clock's all messed up from riding in the dark, as opposed to sleeping in your usual routine. The afternoons, not any better either, because it's so hot here, it'll cook your style within your home. So the idea is to always keep hydrated, to maintain a safe, steady pace. And you know that when night falls, you'll find cows, goats, panthers, goats on the east coast. You'll find timber trucks, FedEx vans, you'll have large container trucks sharing the highway with you during the off-peak hours. And there is also the propensity for there to be rain all of a sudden. So these are just a few of the things you gotta watch out for, and be sure to also ride within your limits. You don't want to be speeding when you know that the larger trucks, the container trucks, might sometimes miss you as you're in the blind spot. You're riding away from their line of sight, and if they chose to overtake another vehicle ahead of them, or if they braked really hard, you'll be caught in the back. Question number 7. When then is a good time to start your trip? Assuming if you're departing from Jackpot Garage, the best time is actually between maybe 5, maybe 6, 4 to 5 a.m. I think is best. Why is that? Because you'll get to catch an amazing sunrise view either way you go. Say you decided to take the West Coast Highway up, you'll find Ipoh at around sunrise, you'll reach Bukit Kayu Hitam maybe around noon, and by the time you're in Johor, or if you decided to take the East Coast route, you'll end up in Kuantan. So that will be likely around sunset. And so when you reach KL, maybe it's just nice before midnight. And while it is okay to also start your ride between 2 to 5, it is generally safer to do so when there's daytime. But question number 8. What should you prepare for the ride? What should you wear and what should you bring? Essentially, you'll need full riding gear to be safe. You could do it in shorts, flip-flops and a tank top. But as they say, dress for the slide, not the ride. Full riding gear with some waterproof linen. You'll need your phone, you'll need GPS so you can show the IBA your logs. You'll need a power bank somehow, or if your bike has a USB charger, you'll need a USB cable. You'll need somewhere to store your receipts and your photo, so that can be done with your phone. You'll maybe need some hearing protection. Take along some snacks, some coffee, some spare fuel, some 100 plus, some sweets. And before you do embark on your journey, at JVG service department, we can help check your chain, your tire, and we make sure your bike's properly dialed in. The coolant, the engine oil level, chain tension, the preload, the brakes, such and such. On to the next question, second last question, which is, what would Jackpot Garage recommend? Well, if you don't have a bike that you think is ready enough to take on speeds averaging about 100 plus kilometers per hour comfortably, then we have a proposal for you. Jackpot Garage has this bike. Motor ni sangat sesuai, tak kisah korang nak. This is the CFMoto 800MT. It is kind of like the perfect mix of muscle and manners. So about 70-80 Newton meters torque, about 90 plus horsepower. It'll do a top speed of 190 to 200, and full tank is about 300 to 350 kilometers. It's got cruise control, it's got nice wide seats with a heater, and you get grips with heaters too. Tall screen, it's got a full-on colored dash with all the information on display. It boasts a nice riding position, and it's a bike that CFMoto built in conjunction with KTM for those long weekend rides or to get down and dirty off-road. With a fuel economy of around 20 plus kilometers per liter, it's just about as fuel efficient as any other 650cc bike. So it's comfortable, it's easy on the wallet, and Jackpot Garage is able to provide you full-time support throughout your Iron Butt challenge. Now this all boils down to what we know about the bike. Point number 10, can this bike take on the Iron Butt? And how much would it cost to use such a bike or to rent one from Jackpot Garage? Well, as you would have guessed, it's not really about how fast you can go. Sure, the bike could reach 190, 200, but it's nearly impossible to keep it pinned for that long because you will have to overtake, you might face obstacles, you might face some slower moving traffic. Hence, it's not about how fast you can go, but about how long you keep put. The 800MT is a smooth machine, minimal vibration, it's got the range, it's got the comforts, and it'll make this Iron Butt that bit more pleasant compared to say using a 250cc scooter or 600cc sport bike. This is a bike that allows you to get the pace just right, and whether it could finish within 25 24 hours out of question? Undoubtedly, yes. We got a friend who did the same trip on a CB500X. Well, granted, he took his time. He managed the bare minimum of 1200 kilometers per hour in 24 hours. Not bad one, right? Now imagine what you could do on a 799cc twin-cylinder CFMoto touring machine fueled by a KTM power plant. Right, that's it, folks. So, finishing the Iron Butt is not just a weekend ride for shits and giggles. It means more than that. It's kind of like a pilgrimage. You owe it to yourself as a rider to try the Iron Butt. It doesn't have to be in a foreign country, or unless if you're coming from abroad, you've done it in your home country and want to try it in Malaysia. We at Jackpot Garage welcome you with open arms. So you want to talk about riding smart, you want to talk about getting all prepared, getting the right bike. Jackpot Garage has just that. For more info on how you could start your journey, or if you want to book a service appointment before you attempt the Iron Butt, here's the number to remember: 018-345-6792. Don't forget, because we're in Malaysia, the country code is +60. Alright, we'll talk to each other very soon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.